All right, boys and girls, how you doing this evening? Welcome to Joe's Atmosfere, State of the Atmosphere, the Wednesday show where I get together with my friends and fellow YouTubers and the chat and talk about what's happening today in pop culture, some of my favorite stuff. We're going to get into the latest. Until it's over, we're going to review every episode of The Last of Us as it comes along. It'll be fun to talk about that one tonight. The differences between the game and the show. And speaking of shows, we're going to talk about Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. Went and saw it this week. Some of my panel did, some of them didn't, but we're going to talk about it. And we're going to try and keep the spoilers down, but we're going to talk about how good or bad that one was. And we're also going to say what that means about Phase 5 as a whole, it being the start of Phase 5 in Marvel. And if we have time, we're going to talk about the future of the comic book industry as a whole. All that and more tonight on State of the Atmosphere. Boys and girls, welcome aboard. I am your host, Joe's Atmosphere. It's good to see each and every one of you tonight. I hope you're having a good time. And we're going to talk about a whole lot of stuff tonight. Got a lot to talk about. And to join me, I have a pretty good panel tonight. Got a few guys showed up early today. And who else? Who we don't know. We don't know who else will show up. Beginning tonight with John Doss Wolfen from Pop Culture Minefield. How are you, brother?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Still, have you got a Super Bowl hangover yet, or are you still high on life after that?
I'm still in the afterglow.
You're still in the afterglow?
Waiting on my shirt to show up.
Oh yeah, you got the championship stuff to get, right?
Yep, and I bought the Funko 12-inch figures.
Get out of town.
Yep, and if it's still available, I'm pre-ordering the Little People Super Bowl set.
Well, our next guest is giving you thumbs down as fast as he can. The Denver Broncos fan, he can't stand it.
God.
He sounds just like a Dolphins fan when New England was winning all those Super Bowls.
Did you get your ref jersey as well? Did you get? Did you order one that we are the champions? The refs.
When the guy that got the call called on him said, "Yeah, I grabbed him. I thought I was going to get away with it."
Whatever.
It's a legit call.
Well, if we're going to start with football, we of course have to bring in the best backup quarterback in YouTube, and that's Matt from Small Time Republic. What's up, bro? How you doing?
How you doing? Me and Joe, we're just over here in the NFC. Not bothering.
That's right. We're over in the NFC, just hanging out. We're like, fine, whatever, it's fine. As long as San Francisco didn't win, we're good.
That's pretty much what it is. The AFC beating each other up to see who goes to the Super Bowl.
Well,
I think we can all agree the two best teams were in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, both teams deserve to be there, no doubt. And it was fun, man. It was fun, But we have moved on from that. But I tell you what, since he brought it up earlier, and since we were talking about football, Knock, tell us about what's going on in the XFL, because you're the only one that saw it. What's up?
No, I watched all 4 games, and it was actually pretty good quality. And The Rock and his entourage made it to every single game, so it's nice to be rich. And like literally the one game, the first on Sunday, the first game was in Houston, and the second game was in DC, and Rock was.
He was at both of them, right?
Yeah. So
yeah, caught a plane. I'm sure.
Probably had the runway right there at the stadium. I don't know what.
Right. You had to set up.
So no, it was great because I think the only thing that they didn't showcase this weekend was overtime, because they had. I was telling you before the start of the show that like one of the games was it was 3-15 to 3. That was the score with a minute and a half to go, and it started with like 3 minutes to go. They got the ball with like 3 minutes to go, but before they scored, they it was a minute and a half, and then they scored. They went for 3 because there's no field goal kicks in XFL, at least extra point wise. Yeah. So you either have to go for 1 point at the 2-yard line, 2 points at the 5-yard line, or 3 points at the at the 10-yard line. And in this case, they were trying to catch up, so they went for 3. They converted the 3, and then they have the rule that I'm really excited about that I hope that the NFL someday brings is the 4th and 15 on their own 35. Okay. And when they did that, and they converted it. They did a 20-yard pass right there on the sideline. The guy caught it, and then they
got to keep the ball.
So they got to keep the ball.
Yeah.
And and they do college rules, which is if they get a first down, the clock stops until the ball is set. And the XFL started last weekend. Last weekend was week 1. Argon. We're headed week 2 is.
That's tonight, David, by the way. That's my son, David. Yep.
Okay. Yeah, that's tonight's actually the next game. It's at 9 p.m. Eastern, so I'm not going to watch it. I'll watch it tomorrow morning. But they have a Thursday night game, and then they go back on the weekend. Okay. But no, and then they scored, and then they didn't convert a 1-point conversion or anything. They tried it. They kind of tried for one, but they won 18-15.
That's great.
Just like that.
Yeah, and this is a guy, I got to tell you, Knock has been hoping that they'd follow some of these rules that they've been implementing, and apparently it worked out for one of them, right?
These games were pretty decent. They all seem pretty cool. One of them was we almost had an overtime. They scored right at the end of the game. One team did, and then they went for 2 to tie it up. They didn't get it. If they had, it would have been overtime. So that was the only thing really, because there was teams that went for it. One of them is they tried to lower touchbacks.
Okay.
If the punting team kicks a touchback, it starts on the 35.
Ooh. Yeah. They want you returning the ball.
They want them returning the ball. Absolutely. Yeah. And then things like incomplete passes, the clock doesn't stop. The only time the clock stops during that kind of stuff is within 2 minutes of each half.
Yeah. So I'm going to watch it this weekend. It was just we were busy getting the kids over here and everything.
And there was crowds there. It wasn't
I'm sure.
USFL when there was hardly anybody in Birmingham, Alabama. But I enjoyed USFL, but there was actually some people there, and one of them was pretty. You can look it up. One of them was pretty funny because they had a beer snake that got taken away from them by security, so they were all throwing lemons on the field, and the commentators were just cracking up. Just like they're throwing the lemons because they took their beer snake away. So it was a great weekend. Yeah. And the fact that it happened so quick after NFL, so I'm still on the football.
That's awesome, man. Yeah, the XFL is on a couple of networks.
I've seen it on ESPN.
I saw it on Fox, and I think ABC's got some games too.
Yeah, it's all over the place. But ESPN Plus, without any, you don't have to have a service provider.
Just go to their website and see the schedule and see where it's at. Yeah,
ESPN Play, and you can rewatch it and everything like that. So and you can watch it live. And what I did, because I'm in the middle of studying, I actually studied for an hour into the game, and then was skipping over commercials and whatever. Is really nice.
Right. Well, let's acknowledge the chat before we go any further. Yeah, I'm glad to hear that, man. I'm looking forward to watching the games.
It was definitely good stuff.
That's good. That's good. I'd like to see a decent product that's worth a damn. That'd be good. Let's see. We got, of course, Argon Calvari. My son David's on. Pope Metallicus is here. Let's go. And let's see who else stepped in here. Oh, yeah. Jordan Joe Johnson asks, hey, bro, are you liking WWE right now? Yes, I am. And if you want to know more about that, you need to watch. Let's see. Let me show him real quick. I've got a graphic for it right here. You need to watch at 1 o'clock Central every Sunday. I do a wrestling show on Pop Culture Minefield called Dork Side of the Ring with my man Danny, the Dork Knight from Las Vegas. So you need to go check that out, man. for sure. But anyway, let's see. First thing I wanted to talk about tonight was, let me pull it up real quick. Yeah, we're going to do this every time from now on. We're going to go ahead and we're going to get the review of the last episode of The Last of Us out of the way to keep people up to snuff on that, because I know I've told you guys before, it's in my top 5 video games all time. So those of you that watched it, what did you think? And
I liked it. It had the potential of being a filler episode, but
yeah, I felt that's what it was. I
Yeah.
really did. What it was is that they actually introduced the town that we see at the beginning of The Last of Us Part 2 in the video games, Jackson. That community, and that's where Joel finds his brother Tommy, and also, but it also shows some of the strife between Ellie and Joel. Joel wanting to back out of things and have somebody else, take over, because he's feeling a little pressured during this whole process. And matter of fact, there was one scene in the game that was totally, right out of the video game on screen. It was an argument they had when she had overheard that he was going to hand things over to Tommy to take her forward. And I didn't remember it, but my daughter reminded me of it when we watched it earlier today. Let me find it real quick. Let's see.
My favorite part was when Joel said, "It's a me, a Mario."
It's a me, Mario.
That was my favorite part.
It was awesome.
It was great. Yeah, it was great.
It was.
It was great.
I
love that episode.
Man.
It was great.
Yeah, she texted it to me, so you guys talk amongst yourself for a second while I pull it up.
Guys, if you haven't seen it in the chat, if you look it up, it's a Saturday Night Live skit that Pedro Pascal did with the Saturday Night Live crew, where it was a post-apocalyptic Mario Kart skit. It was fantastic.
Yes, It was. It's one of the funniest things I've seen on Saturday Night Live in a long time, because Saturday Night Live has not been good for a long time.
I've seen a bunch of skits with Pedro. I guess he's like, I don't know if he did like a whole bunch of skits that one night or if he was there multiple nights, but I've been seeing a lot of Saturday Night Lights with him.
You know what? Since you brought that up, why not? We'll go ahead and show it real quick.
Nice.
Yeah, sure. Why not? I've got it right here. Hang on. Let me go ahead and get the ads out of the way and get it prepped up. But it is funny. He's brought it up a lot, and I really want to show it to people. Hang on. This thing.
Be careful, Joe.
Yeah, I'm going to be careful. What I'm going to do is I'm going to stop it every 10 seconds or so, and we'll talk about it.
So it's sort of combining the Mario movie that's coming out.
Oh my God, no! It's better than that, man. It's better than that.
It's so good.
Have you seen it, Matt?
No,
I don't think I was here when we played.
God.
No, I played it for you guys. Matt wasn't here that night.
Dear Jesus, this is funny. Oh my God. Yeah, you're going to love it. Hang on, let me get this set before I bring it up. Okay, here we go. You'll get the gist of it right away. Let's see. Oh, and of course, Joe fucks it up. Hang on. Let me get the mute off. There we go. There we go.
Yeah, it's nice.
Yes, it's convenient, right?
Which they would have also had to get approval from Nintendo for that one.
Yes, absolutely. They obviously spent some money on that piece, but that is just totally radical.
I was crying when I first saw it. I was like, dude, I actually want to see this. Why?
Why can't you do a show like this? Damn it. What the fuck? That's too much. But getting back to Last of Us. Yeah, it was a good show, but it was filler. They moved on to they had their argument, and the argument let me grab that real quick. It was something where he was going to pass things off to Tommy to take her forward, right? And it was this argument you saw in the game. Hang on.
And it was mainly because Tommy. He was hoping that Tommy still had some connections
He's
with
really all
the
they
Fireflies.
have to worry about. Boys, movies.
Or she's reading out of the diary, right? I'm
Skirts.
telling you, this scene's in there verbatim, guys,
Bizarre.
in the
Get
show.
up. We're leaving.
But
And if I say no,
Do you even realize what your life means? Huh? Running off like that, putting yourself at risk, it's pretty goddamn stupid.
well, I guess we're both disappointed with each other then.
I don't need to show the whole thing, but you've seen the scene before, right?
Yeah.
That plays out, but it plays out in Jackson. They find Tommy in Jackson. I think the only thing that happens before that is they run into an old Indian couple, right, John? Isn't that what happens? And
Grand
leads
Prix.
them that way. They said it's the river of death. Nobody makes it when they make the other side of it or something. And it sounds like a wives' tale whenever they get done talking about it. But yeah, it was mostly a filler thing, but it reconnected him with Tommy, and they established the fact that Tommy is actually married now, kind of. The girl that was on True Blood, if you know that girl, she was best friends with Sookie. I don't remember the actress's name.
I don't remember.
She's an African-American chick.
The character's name on True
but
Blood.
she is Tommy's chick, and she's pregnant. Tommy's going to have a son, and he really doesn't want to go do this, but he's going to do it for his brother. And at the last minute, Tommy decides to go, or not Tommy does, but Joel decides to go in the end. And Tommy gets to stay back there with his wife. And then they go to the next populated area. I think they were going to meet up with some Fireflies, right? Isn't that right, John?
Well,
the next one he knew about it.
They were supposed to go because they were at the a local university there just south of them, East Colorado University or something like that, and that's where they were supposed to meet the Fireflies, but they had moved on.
Right, and it was one of those typical things you saw in the game all the time. They found a building that had a lot of medical stuff in it, and it looks like there had been researchers there or something, but they were gone now. And they saw some humans running around with baseball bats, and they decided to leave. And during the fight, one of them always catches them, during the fight, in the game where Joel falls on that piece of pipe or whatever it was and gets gouged. Well, in this one, he gets gouged by a piece of a baseball bat that gets broken. And it looks like we're going to get into the part where Ellie's basically on her own trying to nurse him back to health. That's how this one ended. He was basically, bleeding out on the after they'd rode on the horse for a while.
You don't want to get an infection in a post-apocalyptic world.
What is it now?
I said you don't want to get an infection in a post-apocalyptic
That's for
world.
damn sure, no doubt.
Yeah.
But
just like the Civil
I
War.
learned that in Fallout.
That's where this one ended, and the previews for the next one looks like it's going to be the DLC. Looks like it's going to be the one with Ellie and her girlfriend.
Ugh.
Yeah.
There's
Well, I mean, it's just
Flashbacks.
if you think about it, if they're going to do the part where she's healing him back to health, a lot of that was just her running around hunting and shit like that. It was a lot of gameplay. Not much storyline, so that's a good place to put it. It's probably going to be a flashback while she's doing that for him. I know you love flashbacks, but I thought it was, hey, the show's going along well. I just thought I was kind of freaked out by the fact that they showed us Jackson already.
How many
They're really
episodes are left?
speeding. Sir,
How many episodes do we have left?
we've only got 3 left. 3. There's only 9 episodes in this season.
Yeah,
what I understand.
This
was episode 6, my friend.
Yeah,
We've only got 3 left. They are
Now,
speeding through this season.
Here's what I'm hoping, and I would if this is 6 or 7 and 8 or one of those two, I'd be ecstatic. And this is what a lot of people were hoping for with the DLC or something. I want a Tommy and Joel flashback.
Yeah, now that would be great.
During their Firefly days or something, so falling out, whatever, something in between that the game's never covered, ever at all, never spoke of it. It's just that they had a falling out. That's all we know.
Yeah,
That's the flashback that I think a lot of people want to see.
Yeah, Mm-hmm. And they allude to the fact, they've already said it a couple of times during the show that they did things, they killed innocent people to survive at the beginning, apparently. And they mention it again when the two of them are together. They're talking about it, and
You guys probably talked about it last week, but I was a little sad that Tommy died in the last episode. The voice actor Tommy.
Right. The voice actor Tommy.
Very.
Yeah. Listen to my man knock baiting people. Look at him. Oh, jeez. Real
Now,
quick in the chat, my stepson Davis has got to go dinner with stepmom, picking up some of my late father's stuff. Great show. Yeah. Hey man, it's good to see you. Always. He's hanging out all week, so I'll see him plenty. He's going to see a stepmom tonight though. But yeah, I'd love to see that too. I would love to see some of the backstory. I really like the stuff they've done to enhance the storyline so far, like the interaction between Joel and her daughter before the night of the outbreak. The entire thing with that town in the last 2 episodes before this one, where we got to see what was going on with the NPCs. You know what I mean? The guys we played against. You know what I mean? I thought that whole thing was pretty cool. It
was definitely my fear that they would take that, and I liked the chick that they got to be the boss lady.
Yeah,
I was really hoping that would cut it out as soon as they got out of that city, and they did.
Yeah,
I didn't want that to drag out. I didn't want her to be
right. Yeah. She got roasted. Yeah, and we saw her get roasted, so she's fine. Yeah, she's gone.
She was awesome. Like that episode was awesome. The end of that episode.
Yeah, it was fantastic. Yeah,
that was the last one I watched.
You know what? I had these World War Z flashbacks when that hole opened up and all them things came rushing out. Man, I was like, oh my god, this is World War Z all over again. These people are fucked. But I'm enjoying it.
I'm just wondering if John Cena's in the running for Abby. If they have in the future season.
Yeah, who's going to play her, right?
I mean, there were pictures of him, wearing a skirt recently for a role.
Oh, my God. So. Did you see oh, man. Hang on. I'm gonna have to go ahead and send that just to show you since you brought it up. I made a poster just of that. I'll have to pull it up real quick and send it in. But, yeah, I'm enjoying the show. The only change that they've made that I didn't like, and it's not that I didn't like what they did. I liked the episode with Bill and Frank. I like that. I'm with you in this camp, Knock. I hate the fact that Bill wasn't alive after that he's not going to have the interaction with Ellie and all that good stuff. I hated that, but I thought it was a good episode.
They literally could have killed him off afterwards and we wouldn't have cared.
Right. Exactly.
Like they literally could have met him, did whatever, and then he could have been like, "Yeah, I can't live anymore," and then killed himself.
Right.
You don't know what happened until after they left him, so anything could have happened. But we didn't even get the chance.
I'm telling you.
But
yeah,
they could have shortened that whole sequence by at least 15 minutes, and then had the interaction, and then been done with it.
Yeah. This is one that I made when I saw that picture of John Cena right here. The Revenge of Go-Go's failed clone. I don't know if you guys have even seen the John Cena picture or not. Have you guys seen that thing?
No.
Do you know the one I'm talking about?
I've seen a couple pictures where he's like walking in and out of his trailer.
Oh my god, that's so hilarious. He's wearing a dress and stockings like that, man. It's just freaking ridiculous. I'll pull it up real quick and show it to you guys. But yeah, as far as Last of Us goes, I think that I'm not being disappointed. I'm really not. I mean, once again, there's only 3 episodes left, so I'm like, oh god, we're speeding towards the 9th hole at Augusta kind of thing. But hey, I'm enjoying what we're getting right now.
Is that you can always go back and just play the game, and then
yes, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to the Seattle episode, man. I really am, watching that guy on a tri-state killing spree, man. That's gonna be fun to watch right there.
I think we need to play bets and see like right now, before this next episode comes out, how does he kill the doctor?
Yeah, and are they going to even mention his name? Are they gonna are we gonna have for people that haven't played the game, are they gonna have any foreshadowings, anything like that? Yeah. That would be interesting to see.
Are they gonna have her like hiding in a closet and watching or something like that, and then that kind of sets up the next one? Are they even gonna do it at all? Because that was a real that was a huge turn in the game when you found out that was the dad. Like that's a cliffhanger, or not clear. That's a plot twist.
Yep.
When you find that out.
Why are they making these pictures hard to find now? The ones that I saw of it aren't here. This is about the closest one. Hang on. Oh, that's pretty close to it right there. Oh my God. And you can see he's got makeup on in this picture, man. Yeah, that's it right there. Knock. That's what he looked like leaving his trailer.
Abby Smash.
Abby Smash right there, boy.
My next question is why?
Right. There's got to be an explanation. I'm sure. I don't know what scene is doing there, but wow, too damn funny, man. Too damn Wait, maybe that's it. Yeah, this is the one I saw right here that made me want to make that poster. Yeah, this is the one right here.
Well, I'm sure ridiculous. If you asked him, he'd say it's for a role, but then your second question would be the same as your first. Why?
Right. Yeah. Why? What the hell are you doing, man?
Well, he had that commercial where he came out as because he was dating one of the Bellas at the time.
Oh yeah, that was a while back.
He came out dressed as her. So
Nikki was dressed. Yeah, he dressed up as Nikki. Yeah. But definitely check it out, Knock. You'll enjoy the episode of Last of Us. It was good.
I'll watch it.
They've done a good job with this so far, as far as I'm concerned. I just wish they'd have done this over 2 seasons, the first game. But it's obvious they're speeding towards the second game as fast as they can.
Druckmann wants to get to his masterpiece.
His masterpiece, yeah.
That's a long game.
And you know what? My
game.
daughter, by the way, I've got to give her a shout out real quick. Hang on. This merch is from Gotham Knights season 1. We don't know if it'll ever get a season 2 or what. But she was working for locations on that
cool.
show. So I'm definitely going to have to watch it now. And even if it's cringe, I'll watch it and I'll do reviews on it. That's what I'll do with it. But yeah, that's what she worked on this time around. She is off until I think the next project she's working on is it's something for Peacock, and she told me the name of it. I can't remember exactly what it is, but it's some kind of horror driven thing, I think. Something like that. I'll ask her again and I'll let you know. But yeah, she's living her dream, man. She has no children to tie her down. She is married, but they went to Atlanta together, and she's following her dream. She's trying to get in the industry,
So she can probably give a little bit of background on the industry itself in terms of how the sausage gets made.
Oh, absolutely. She definitely could. What she got into it with was when she was in Tulsa before she moved to Atlanta. She was working security for a company that was contracted to work the movie set for Scorsese's next movie, which also happens to be Apple Movie Studios' first production. I think it's called Killers of the Feather Moon or something like that. It has to do with an actual event that happened in the Tulsa area, and it was like a Native American genocide kind of thing. So be looking for that. And it's got DiCaprio, De Niro, all the Scorsese regulars are in it. And it takes place in just after the turn of the century, I think, in Tulsa, Oklahoma, something like that.
Interesting.
Let's see.
Of course, Tulsa was known for. I think this was maybe back in the 20s, having some racial riots.
Yeah. They, like I said, this is
Black Wall Street that got burnt down.
Yeah, true. Absolutely.
We're talking about 100 plus years ago. Came to mind.
Yeah.
Hang on, let me see. Killers. You type in Killers on IMDb, it's the first thing that pops up, man. Killers of the Flower Moon is the name of it. And this is going to have DiCaprio and several others in it. says members of the Osage tribe in the United States are murdered under mysterious circumstances in the 1920s, sparking a major FBI investigation involving J. Edgar Hoover. And the cast is DiCaprio, De Niro.
John Lithgow.
Yeah, John Lithgow's in it.
Wow.
Yeah, it's got Brendan Fraser's playing somebody in it. It's got a big cast. And like I said, it's supposed to be now, from what she told me, Scorsese notoriously has a big post-production time. It's not, doing the shooting and then 6 months later he's ready to go. He does a lot of post-production apparently. So it's going to be, let's see, maybe it's got a release date on here. I'm not sure. I'm not used to
can be a little bit obsessive with editing.
Well, this is a passion project of his, apparently. So, let me see. I'm just not finding it.
I once saw an interview he did where he was talking about how when he was editing The Last Waltz, which was a concert that the band did back in the 70s,
right,
in San Francisco, and about how, back during those time periods, he wasn't in the best state, you could say. There was drug use and all this other kind of stuff. And
right.
He talked about like blacking out everything in his house while he was editing the movie so that he could like just hyper focus with it. So he's been known to get lost at the end of the river.
He gets lost in things just like some of his actors do. Yes, absolutely. But I didn't see a release date on it, but it says one of the most anticipated movies of 2023. And I think we had it on our year-end show when we did that earlier this year. But anyway, she met this particular bunch of production people on that set and followed them to Atlanta. A bunch of contacts she had made doing that. And she's following her dream, man. I'm more power to her. I'm very proud of her. I hope she gets to do everything she wants to do. The only thing I've ever told my daughter is please don't live in fear. Do what you are looking to do in life, because that's the thing that's always hindered me. But that comes with parenthood and stuff like that. You always are worried about something. And that's what I try and tell her. Don't be afraid to go and do things. So, but anyway, to wrap up Last of Us, it was a good episode. It's definitely a stepping stone episode. I think it sets up more of the universe going forward with this thing, because Jackson is definitely, we know this from playing both the games, that Jackson's going to be a definite linchpin in a lot of the story. So, any other thoughts on that, guys?
Monkeys. We got the monkeys.
Yeah, we did get the monkeys. I was like, I told my daughter when we were watching, I was like, there better be a giraffe in the next major city they're in. Damn it!
Yeah, I was going to mention it earlier. I was like, has the giraffe showed up yet? Like,
no. The research hospital had monkeys that were all loose and just running around all over the place. Man, it was pretty cool. But anyway,
that was a scene in the first one that you could actually miss.
Yeah.
The giraffe. If you didn't
giraffes,
go by the
if you didn't look out that window and get out on that balcony, you weren't going to see them.
Yeah,
at all.
It's pretty crazy that you could actually miss that. I think I did. I think I went back and watched the YouTube video of it.
Did you really? Wow.
I can't remember if I caught it or not. I know it might have been who I was watching missed it, and then chat was like, "You missed the scene," so he went back and YouTube it. He's like, "What are you talking about? We saw the scene."
All right, the next one we got to talk about is Ant-Man and the Wasp. Quantumania. Good stuff? Bad stuff? What do you think? First of all,
I hate short hair on women.
I hate what they did to her hair too.
Absolutely hate it.
But it actually, once I saw the movie, it doesn't look that bad on her. It really doesn't. She's better looking actually than I thought she'd be in the flick. I know you saw it, John. Matt, did you go see it this weekend?
I haven't seen it yet.
You haven't seen it yet. Okay.
Yeah. And as far as spoilers go, what I'm good with whatever, but I don't if John hasn't seen it, I don't want to.
No, I've seen it.
I haven't seen it, but if I wanted to see it, I would have seen it. Already.
Yeah.
I had a 4-day weekend. I could have seen it if I wanted to. This is not a movie that I was.
That's not see, and
So-
this is the thing. And we're going to get to this after we talk about the movie. But when I saw the layout of Phase 5, there was only two things that piqued my interest. Well, a third, of course, because of Guardians of the Galaxy. Guardians of the Galaxy's been good since the beginning, so I was interested in that one. But the only two things other than that I was interested in was Ant-Man Quantumania, because I've loved both the Ant-Man movies, and Captain America New World Order. Those are the only two. Everything else I could care less about. And by the way, we'll get into it. Half of it's been pushed back, as we find out now. So, but Quantumania I was looking forward to because I enjoy the Ant-Man movies. Now, I enjoy them, number one, because Michael Douglas is involved, and he's one of the few guys that I have watched everything the guy's ever done. I'm a huge fan. He's Hollywood royalty. I remember when I was a kid, he was on Streets of San Francisco on television. And everything he's ever touched has turned to gold, man. It really has.
Yeah, most everything he's in is at least solid. You know, it may not be the best thing ever, but it's at least there's like a good floor there with him.
Right. And later on in life, he's tried some different genres, but most of, I think his career early in life was what Mickey Rourke wanted his career to be. He wanted to do adult movies that had a twist to them, that made you think. And Michael Douglas was much more successful at it than Mickey Rourke was. Mickey Rourke picked some bad properties to do it with. Michael Douglas, he managed his career well. He picked really good. I mean, Fatal Attraction, The Chamber. I could go on and on about this guy's career. Hell, he won his first Academy Award as a producer when he put the money behind One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest, one of only two movies that have hit it out of the park by winning all 5 of the major awards. That one and Silence of the Lambs. They're the only 2 movies to ever do it. And he enjoyed the book. That's why he wanted to get the movie made. And what a cast he put together and stuff. I mean, it's Hollywood history. It really was. That's back when I used to watch the Academy Awards every year. That's one of the reasons why I loved Ant-Man. The other one is Paul Rudd, the guy I like to say has Dick Clark disease. He doesn't age, and he's just a likable, funny guy. He just is. He's not funny like Robin Williams funny. He's just he's a fantastic funny man. He really is.
It's the delivery.
That's it. His comic timing is fantastic. I've loved him all the way back to Clueless. When I saw him in that, his homegirl's brother in it, he was great in that movie.
In a little bit, he sort of stole that movie a little more than he should have. Like,
yes,
his character didn't really have to be funny.
No,
but it was still.
But he was great. Yeah, he stole the scene he was in. He gobbled it up, man.
He exceeded expectations. For that
yes, absolutely. So I really was looking forward to this. Plus, really, I was really looking forward to it more with the trailers that were coming out. It looked like it had some Infinity War weight to it. There would look like there was going to be consequences in this movie, that kind of thing. And I got to tell you guys, it looks like the rest of the movie viewing world agree with me on it. I liked the movie. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good. It's got its problems, but it's definitely better than, I would say, other than No Way Home, everything that came out in Phase 4. I think it's better than that. The current Rotten Tomatoes scores, of course, the critics don't like it. It's 48% with them. But the audience score is 84.
It's not woke enough for them.
Right. It's not woke enough for them. And to their credit, it's not woke. This movie is not woke. Yes, they've got a little bit of the check boxes as far as the, I guess the racial thing, the diversity of characters. But you know what? The Ant family is all the characters we've already seen. It's Michelle Pfeiffer. It's Michael Douglas. It's Paul Rudd, his daughter. I don't know the actress's name that played the daughter, but she did well.
She was new.
Now,
Yeah, well, she's new, but the character's not new.
Right.
What were you saying,
same
Matt?
actress that they've had for her?
I don't know.
No.
I don't know. I'd have to.
It's the one from
Endgame.
Endgame.
Is it the same chick from Endgame?
Yeah, it's the one from Endgame. But yeah, they replaced her because they aged her up 5 years.
Okay,
I got.
Well, yeah, in Endgame they did. Yeah, absolutely.
The only knock I have on it, and this is just based on what I've heard that Luis is not in it.
Nope.
Yes, that sucks. That sucks that he's not in it.
It's not as funny as an Ant-Man movie.
Yeah, how can you not have Louise in it? Okay, well, I don't know if I want to go see it.
Well, most of it takes place in the quantum realm. It doesn't waste any time at all. It's like he does a little lead in talking about his life, after the blip and everything. And then they have a family dinner and they find out that Michael Douglas's character and the girl from Lost, that's Wasp. What's her name?
Evangeline Lilly.
Evangeline Lilly and the child, his daughter.
Yeah.
First of all, they have to bail her out of jail because she's at a protest or something like that. She's trying to save the world. She's the most woke part of it, but it makes sense. It was like watching me and my daughter. That's exactly what it was like. He's sitting there trying to say, yeah, I want you to do what you want to do, but there's a better way of doing it. And, that kind of thing. And she's like, you're not doing anything,
She's Gen Z.
Exactly. It's exactly the dynamic it was. And turns out
you're not doing anything.
I'm not doing anything. Yeah. That kind of thing. But
he's only doing a little bit. Get it?
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. But the whole thing was they were working on a secret project trying to map the quantum realm. Okay. To study it. And she's explaining it, and Michelle Pfeiffer, right, is sitting there listening to all this, and she's cool with it until the daughter says, so what we did was we sent a signal down to the quantum realm. Soon as she says that, Michelle Pfeiffer's like, what? You did what? Turn this thing off right now. You can't do that, right? Apparently, Michelle Pfeiffer was, as we know, was down there for 30 years, right? She hasn't told them everything about the quantum realm at all. And
she hadn't told them anything.
She hadn't told them shit. She wants to forget about it. Well, guess what? Her chickens come home to roost really quick. They all get sucked into it. They get separated. And I now understand after seeing it why a lot of the critics said it was a lot like Star Wars. You will enjoy it, Knock. You will enjoy it. The quantum realm is a totally different place from everything else. I mean, there's giant flying amoebas and stuff, and it's wild. The atmosphere is really cool, and some of the CGI looks like it's not finished, but that's a common problem with a lot of these Marvel movies.
Marvel especially.
Yeah, they're wearing out
the last production.
Yes, yeah, it's the last thing to work on, and if it doesn't get done, fine, just get it out, right? But
unless it's the Marvels, and you can just keep pushing it back.
Right, you just keep pushing back the Marvels, right? Yeah, if we can do that. It's Brie Larson's.
They need to push back that Marvels poster that has the lady parts in it.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah.
But it was a good movie. I enjoyed it. The whole storyline, and I'm not going to get into a lot of spoilers. All I can tell you is they have a scene in a bar, just like the cantina in Star Wars. They've got one of those in there. They've got, you see that Kang has built this empire down there, and basically they have to stop him from leaving the quantum realm. That's the big thing. He's been trapped there. And we find out he's one of many Kangs throughout the multiverse. It's the same Kang that we saw at the end of Loki. Okay. Yeah. It's the same guy, but it's a different version of him. He's actually been kicked out of the Council of Kangs because he's too fucking dangerous. Right. And he got trapped down there. And the whole thing is he wants to get out. Michelle Pfeiffer knows how to get him out, and the race is on. He's trying to track her down. He's sending all the people out. I mean, there's all kinds of characters in it. It makes you think of Star Wars. It really does. I
can see that.
Entirely different thing. That they've got people. There's a rebellion going on against Kang. That kind of thing. and they're caught in the middle of it. And Paul Rudd's character just wants to get his people home. That's all he gives a shit about. But when he finds out what's going on, then he finds out, hey, maybe I need to
he's
help
Rick
stop
Grimes.
this guy.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Exactly. He's Rick Grimes, but he's a nicer, more politically correct Rick Grimes, right? But yeah, it's a fantastic movie. What'd you think, John? You went and saw it opening day. I know you did. We didn't go see it until last night, but
I went to see it Thursday night.
Mm-hmm.
And for the second time in a row for a Marvel movie, the projector was messed up.
Oh no!
Oh man,
really?
So I didn't actually go see it until after Dark Side of the Ring on Sunday. But
okay.
On the plus side, I didn't have to pay for it because they not only gave me a refund, but since I was I'm the only one that was at the Wakanda Forever debacle.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what happened. The Wakanda Forever.
Yeah, you told me about that.
Was stuck on 3D for a 2D movie,
mm-hmm.
or stuck half on 3D for a 2D movie, something.
Yeah,
and I can't watch 3D, so they ended up giving me a free pass and a thing full of free thing full of popcorn. I decided to save the popcorn for next time, but
right.
So yeah, I got a refund and I got a free pass, so I didn't actually pay to see this movie.
Yeah. So did you enjoy it?
Yeah, it was enjoyable.
Yeah.
It wasn't like, it's still not up to the first three phases.
No. But would you agree it's better than everything they put out in the theaters for phase?
Everything Marvel's put out specifically.
Right.
Because the Sony,
yeah, No Way Home was the best thing that they've put out since Endgame, if you ask me.
All right, so answer this then, with having seen this movie, does it all wrap up in itself?
No.
Well,
it does.
Okay.
It does.
No, this is definitely. Yeah, well, yeah, it does. You're right. It does in a way, but the post-credit scenes, which I'm not going to talk about, they definitely lead into something else. This is definitely a stepping stone. Yes.
This is the beginning of the setup for Kang Dynasty, which is Avengers Kang Dynasty, which is the Avengers movie coming out next year, 2024.
Really?
Yeah.
Because that's supposed to be the end of Phase 6. You sure it's not 2025? Yeah.
That's the end of Phase 5.
No, sir.
End of Phase 6 is Secret Wars.
No. Both of them come out at the end of Phase 6. I can show it to you.
They pushed Secret Wars back a year.
Okay. But Phase 5 ends with Thunderbolts, my friend. Here, I got the graphic right there. Okay? Neither one of the Avenger movies are in Phase 5. Phase 6. Phase 6 starts with Fantastic Four, and it ends with both the Avengers movies. Yeah, I can pull up the video for you and show you.
No,
from last year's Comic-Con.
It was...
Nah. Yeah, see, look. And we'll go over, because we were going to talk about this anyway, but, you've got Quantumania, right, on the 17th.
Oh, they pushed that back.
Right. Okay. You've got... The next thing that comes on TV is going to be Secret Invasion, which they've already had trailers for.
It's so secret we can't get a release date.
We can't get a release date, right? We know that May 5th, Guardians comes out, right? Echo's been pushed back. The Marvels has been pushed back. I'm not sure about Loki. It's supposed to come out this summer.
The Marvels is November.
Right.
Yeah.
Echo, they pushed it back, as far as I know, until next year. Echo. And I'll be shocked that they even make
Echo
that.
says, so this list that I have right now is today.
Share it with me, brother.
Okay.
And I will put it up. This is just one from his announcement. Now, this is from Comic-Con last year. Okay. You got one? Okay. Let's see.
So this is literally published today.
All right.
So it's got the Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Guardians of the Galaxy, May 5th.
May 5th. Keep going.
Secret Invasion, 2023.
2023. Yeah. No date. 2023.
Marvels. Yeah. The Marvels, November 10th.
Yeah.
Echo, 2023.
Yeah.
That got pushed back to 2024.
That got pushed. I'm pretty sure it got pushed back. Yeah, I hear you.
Published today, so I don't know. Loki to be announced. Ironheart to be announced.
Yeah.
Wars.
A lot of this is to be announced. Yeah.
Winter 2023-24 for Agatha.
Yeah.
Untitled Wakanda series to be announced.
Mm-hmm.
Spider-Man freshman year. Oh,
That's going to be animated.
Yeah.
That's going to be animated.
Ooh,
So is that one.
97.
So is that one.
Of course,
Yep.
it's an extension. Yeah, to be
I'm
announced.
surprised they have the X-Men moniker on it.
Yay. What
Me
if
too.
season
X
2?
people.
To be announced. Yeah.
Daredevil, spring
Born Again.
2024.
Yeah, but
Scary.
Bizarro Daredevil, not Daredevil.
Marvel
Right.
Zombies.
Yeah. Not the Daredevil we know and love. Yeah.
Captain America: New World Order, May 3rd, 2024.
2044.
Now
yeah.
Joe, make sure to tell Danny that is not WCW. Okay, that's
Right. Got it.
NWA.
It's not WCW. I will let the Dork Knight know that is not what that title means.
Thunderbolts thing.
Yep. Yep.
And then
July 26th,
September-
2024.
Suicide Squad, Marvel style. Yeah.
And then September is Blade, which is the last of Phase 5.
Okay. So they've swapped that up
Yeah,
because
Deadpool
they had
3.
Blade before it.
Yes.
There you go.
Now, I'm not
Okay.
sure if Deadpool 3 counts as
That's supposed to start phase.
But it's
what?
it's Disney now, so it's
yeah.
they have to kind of
Mhm.
include it. But
It's weird that it's Deadpool 3's MCU, but yet it doesn't feel like it should even be
No.
an MCU movie, but it is. It's
But I'm hopeful for Blade because of this. Because let me tell you, Blade in Disney's hands scares the shit out of me. I mean, it's supposed to be a vampire killer bloodletting show, and I just can't see Disney doing that. Can you guys?
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
at least we'll finally see Kit Harington come back.
right?
Yep. Phase. You're right. Deadpool does start Phase 6.
There you go. It was supposed to be Fantastic Four, but now that they're doing Deadpool, it's going to start Phase 6, right?
Fantastic Four is actually February 14th, 2025.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.
Kang
Keep going.
Dynasty's
Nova.
May
That's
2nd,
I'm looking forward to that right there.
That's a series, though.
Yeah. Doesn't
I'm just looking
matter.
at
I like
movies.
the character.
now wasn't
Yeah.
Nova. I think that was one of Galactus's heralds, I believe.
Yes, just like the Silver Surfer.
Yeah,
Yes, he
okay.
was.
Maybe we'll get Silver Surfer.
That was
Oh, yeah.
Richard Ryder Nova. That wasn't Sam. Whatever's. I forgot what his character's last name
Right.
is.
Right.
Avengers:
And
The
then
Kong Dynasty.
Kang
May
Dynasty
2nd.
is 2025. That's in
Yeah.
Phase 6. Yep. And
I was
then
thinking it was
Secret
next year.
Wars,
Secret Wars, yeah.
which is the next year.
May
So-
1st, 2026.
Mhm.
That might actually be Phase 7.
Right? But it was shown, I'm telling you, at Comic-Con, he showed all he showed in Phase 6 was it was going to start with Fantastic Four. They didn't even have Deadpool listed because I don't even think they'd made an agreement with Ryan Reynolds yet to do that movie. But when he did Comic-Con, it started with Fantastic Four and it ended with the 2 Avengers movies, Kang Dynasty and Secret Wars.
Kang's also going to be in Secret Wars.
I wouldn't be shocked. I mean, yeah, you saw what I saw the other night. Yeah, he could be in there for a lot of them, couldn't he? There's a lot of Kangs out there, guys. Yeah.
Avengers: Secret Wars. That could be where Kang meets his demise, for all we know.
Mm-hmm. But
Yeah.
speaking of Kang, boys and girls, yes, they've been talking a lot of stuff about what's Jonathan's last name? What's his
Majors.
name? Jonathan Majors. My friends, he did a fantastic job playing Kang. He is the highlight of the movie, really.
Oh,
he
yeah.
is. And the low light of the movie is MODOK. They totally fucked that up. They really did. MODOK's he's everybody's bitch. It's just
And
ridiculous.
Kang's costume is comic book accurate.
Yes, it is. And it's fucking
Nice.
sweet. It's very cool, man. Yep.
It's the
But-
purple and green, baby.
But he's kind of like Thanos in the fact that you kind of feel for him at the beginning of the story, man. You feel for him. You kind of understand him until you find out what he's about, and it's really cool. You guys need to definitely go see it in the theater. I would say this is worth paying the money and going to see.
I plan to do it to myself Sunday morning. It was what I was thinking.
Yeah.
With MODOK, if you do that right, you can have him be funny and dangerous.
Yes,
He
absolutely.
can be both if you do it
Yeah.
right.
But
And his
look,
face should be cartoonish.
yes, but
Yeah.
this was just horrible.
Yeah, it was bad CG.
They had an actor's face stretched across this huge area, and it was just dumb. It was dumb. I'm not going to say who he is. You know, I'll save that for you guys seeing it in the theater.
Will Ferrell.
No, but it's horrible. You'll understand when you see it. If you understand the character, it stands for help me out, John. It's mechanical organism developed only for killing, right? Isn't that it? Mechanical organism developed only for killing.
Right back.
MODOK, right?
Yeah.
And oh my God, this killing machine is everyone's bitch. He says something in the presence of Kang, and Kang jap slaps him up against the wall.
Well, now it's not uncommon for MODOK to be other villains, you know.
Right, bitch. Yeah.
Yeah, but still, he's still powerful. I mean,
you got to be scared of him, don't you? You
Yeah.
never feel scared of this guy ever in the show.
You actually feel sorry for him.
Yeah, you do.
It's like in wrestling. If you get a new guy, you don't want to immediately have a squash match where he gets destroyed. Like, you got to build him up a little bit.
Yeah.
Now there are rumors that there's going to be an Eternals sequel, and there are literally dozens of people, dozens around the world that want that. So we'll see if it happens or not.
Eternals sequel.
Yeah.
I know they're going to finally address the damn Eternals sticking out of the Indian Sea in New World Order.
Are they?
Yeah.
Well, that's good. It's only going to take them most of the phase to do it, I guess, because that one's at the other end of phase 5. That one is the other one that I'm really looking forward to. I'm looking forward to Guardians, but the thing is, and I've told people this, my brother loves the Guardian of the Galaxy movies. He thinks those are the best Marvel properties, okay? But I told him, I said, look, from what I've seen of this thing and the fact that the guy that developed this stuff is working for DC now, I would expect some people to die in this movie. You better bring your Kleenex to this thing because they're going to lose some characters in this thing. You know,
I predict Drax is going to die.
Yeah. Rocket's going.
I predict Rocket's going to die.
You know, Rocket's going. Yeah.
And I predict that Nebula's going to die.
Yeah. Yeah, all
Peter
the ones.
Peter Quill will survive because I think they want to keep him around. Although, he might be going to do Booster Gold in DC.
Yeah, that could be happening. They've got a Booster Gold thing in the works. Is that a movie or a series? I forgot.
Series. Okay. Series, but he'll show up in the movies.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But you know, as far as this movie goes, I enjoyed it. If they hold serve with this and improve, I'll be happy with the next phase of Marvel, really. I mean, you know, they're back to telling a long-term story, it looks like, you know, to me. And it was
phase
cool.
4's just kind of, let's throw stuff out there.
Yeah, exactly. Just see what sticks. And that was the feel I had for it too. But this one, it looks like they've got a plan for what they want to do with the characters. And it was really cool to see Ant-Man be the hero of the show. You know, usually we've been getting the bait and switch lately, and it wasn't. It was Ant-Man. Now, I'm not going to say in detail what he did, but John knows what I'm talking about. Ant-Man really shows up in more ways than one. It's pretty fucking cool.
Well, they showed part of it in the trailer.
Yeah,
with him going Godzilla, smashing buildings. Yeah,
right. Yeah, absolutely.
He has a really big part to play.
Well, my whole thing with it is, you know, if they made this in Phase 4, they'd have probably had the Wasp be the one that got him through it all, right? In this case, it was not. It was Paul Rudd's movie, and
it was. They were pretty much. They were basically a team in this, and that's what Ant-Man and the Wasp should be.
Yes, absolutely.
Complement each other.
And it was pretty cool, man. And I bring this up with people all the time. You know, Ant-Man really in the comic books, it's not people's favorite guy. Actually, they like the Wasp better as a character than they do Ant-Man. You know what I'm saying?
Well, the original Ant-Man was a woman beat. I mean, he beat Janet Van Dyne.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
In the comics, and that back then that was
crazy.
But even later on, wasn't Hank Pym kind of a dick in the comics? I mean,
he's always been a dick.
Well, I had a good friend of mine.
He's not the friendly Michael Douglas Hank Pym. He's
no, not at all. He's more like the guy in the opening of the first Ant-Man movie that punches out Homeboy in the middle of that meeting. That's the Hank Pym from the comic books right there. And the other thing about Ant-Man, if you haven't read the comics, guys, I have a friend of mine that's a comic book purist. Of course, he's passed away now, but back then he was mad at the fact that they had Tony Stark building all their tech and him basically starting the Avengers, because it was Ant-Man that did all that shit in the comic books.
Well, I think it was Ant-Man that did the like Spider-Man's suit that had like not the microorganisms, whatever you call it, the suit that that can form up
nanotech.
Nanotech, yes, mm-hmm. I couldn't think of it. But I think the nanotech was Hank.
Yeah, Pym. They definitely slipped Tony Stark into that role in the cinematic universe, which I had no problem with.
And I think Ultron may have been Pym.
Hank Pym made Ultron.
Yes, he invented Ultron. Yeah, that was his deal. Yeah, the entire Avengers thread that you've read or seen in the MCU is actually we're talking about the Avengers storyline now, not the Iron Man stories, because those are true to the books. They're pretty good. But the Avengers storyline, they inserted Tony Stark into the role of Ant-Man, really, basically, in that. But I got to say, I really the only time I cringed was the MODOK shit. Him try,
Well, some of the things that they had Stature do, which is the hero name of Ant-Man's daughter.
Okay.
Is Stature.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the stuff she did was kind of cringe.
Yeah, that didn't bother me because at my age, all young people are cringe from time to time. Yeah. I'm just used to that. I figured that's what I was seeing through that filter. You know what I mean?
There are 2 post-credit scenes setting up 2 different things.
Right. One of them,
I won't go into details, but one of them sets up Loki season 2.
Yes, it does.
And one of them sets up the rest of Phase 5.
The rest of Phase 5, yes. They had 2. So if you go see it, you've got to stay for the initial, they name the actors and Kevin Feige's got to get his name on there and all that stuff. And then when they go through the list of credits, sit through that too, because they've got one at the end of that too. So there's 2 post-credit scenes.
Yeah, usually after I would go on Google and be like, how many end credits?
I do that at the end of every movie too.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, credits. We're at the end of movie.
Do I have to stick around? Right?
How many? What post-credit scenes are at the end of X movie?
Yep.
None. Okay, I'm out of here.
Yep. That's it. So, knowing what we know now about Ant-Man, what do we think of this slate that is coming up in Phase 5? And we just got done looking at it with Knock. And I mean, I think it may be, with all these movies being pushed, or these TV shows and movies being pushed back, I think it's a fluid situation at Marvel now. I mean, I think they're figuring out they can't throw money all over the place. They're going to have to concentrate some of these funds.
It's going to be interesting because what we haven't discussed at all yet is DC.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. After Flash, it's going to be very different.
Yeah, well, the last one that they've got on their slate for the current property, in other words, the DC Extended Universe, the DEU, is Blue Beetle.
Aquaman.
No,
I thought Aquaman.
I think Blue Beetle comes out after it.
Does it? I thought Aquaman's coming out in December.
Well, let's see. Let's take a look. Let's take a look at it.
But still, with James Gunn hitting that up.
Well, there's 2 properties left. We don't have to look that up. We know Aquaman 2 and Blue Beetle are both. They were already done. They're in the can. They're being post-production's going on with them before James Gunn took over, right? Before Peter Safran and him took over, right? So, and we've looked. I think I've already shown you guys. I've got the graphic if you guys want to see what's up in that slate. But what I'm saying as far as Marvel goes, though, with these films being pushed back, I think they realize that they can't keep throwing money at things like they've been doing. I think they realize they have to start putting their money where they're going to get the most bang for their buck, if you understand what I'm saying.
Well, you look at Disney, they, was a few weeks ago, they laid off 7,000 people.
Yep.
You've had
Absolutely.
some other large companies lay off people as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like Google and Amazon have been laying off people. So all these big companies, they are having to take a step back and say, how can we change something to where we're not having to continue to do this action? And one thing they got to look at is Disney Plus, because there's a lot of people, like I'm doing this with Wakanda Forever, the Black Panther sequel. I haven't watched on Disney Plus yet, but I didn't go and sit in the theater because I said, I'll wait a couple months, watch on Disney Plus. And I'm not the only one that's doing that. There are others that
not at all
taking that same approach. So they need to make sure that they're maximizing what they're getting at Disney Plus, because if they're not getting a lot of new subscribers, and if it's keeping people from going to the theater to some extent, then it may not be the best model for them.
Yeah,
it's crazy that they gave up on the Disney premiere stuff. That was.
Yeah. You're talking about same time as theaters, a little bit more money. Yeah,
but the whole $30 thing that they had, and it was like
well, that's because it cannibalized. Black Widow.
Mm. Apparently, from what I understand, there's an untitled Black Widow movie.
Really?
I guess they kissed and made up or something. So I saw that on another list that I looked up earlier today. But
I haven't seen that.
Okay, yeah, it's somewhere,
but
it's like 6 months old, so who knows?
I mean, if I had my druthers, I would have had the Black Widow movie come out in the Captain Marvel slot, and then
well ahead of when it
Captain Marvel
come out.
not even come into the picture
of Black Widow
until after Endgame.
It made me. I don't think I watched Black Widow in theaters. I don't remember.
I did. It's one of the few COVID movies I went to see.
I didn't want to watch it. I didn't go because I just didn't want to see it.
We were visiting. Oh, I did. Dude, spy stories I love, And there's some stuff about Black Widow I liked. I mean, the opening scene of Black Widow is kick-ass, if you ask me. Red Guardian on the wing of that plane blowing away cars trying to get off the ground. It's just awesome. I loved it.
Yeah.
It had a very Bourne Identity feel to it. You know what I mean? With a little bit of superpowers thrown in. I thought it was cool.
I love the whole character of Red Guardian. I'm looking forward to him in Thunderbolts.
Yeah.
I think if I ever go back and do the whole chronological watching, I'm gonna put that a little ahead of them other movies. Like I'm not gonna watch it, as it came out, as I would for most of the movies, because it needed to come out earlier. I had no desire to watch it when it came out. I was like, she's dead. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly. It was too late. It was too late.
That's what I'm saying. I'm gonna watch it before Infinity War, the Endgame. So that, and then if I do watch it, it'll be in a better order than it came out.
In the Black Widow movie, I wish we would have gotten some Black Widow and Hawkeye in Budapest. Since
exactly
they were
that's
always
what I wanted to see in that movie.
Yeah,
exactly. That would have been cool as hell.
Maybe that's the untitled Black Widow movie coming out. Who knows?
And I have a concern about New World Order.
And what would that be?
Because besides Feige being EP, it's also got Nate Moore listed as EP.
Okay.
He's the woke guy that said that he didn't want fans of the property in the writer's room.
Right. Yeah. I would have concerns with that myself if I were you. Yes, absolutely. That's a little bit of a stupid thing to say whenever you're going to make comic book movies. I mean, but then again, that's always been the point I've tried to make about everything past phase 3. They're not making these movies for me anymore. They're making them for people that don't read comic books now. It would be nice if they get people that make comic books back involved with it, but
You mean Falcon not being able to get a loan at a bank that's not for you.
Yeah,
the
that's
Falcon
not
and
for
Winter
me at
Soldier.
all. That's
Yeah.
that's for a younger generation that's having a problem getting loans at a
Right.
bank or something. I don't know, man.
I don't think
I don't know.
that's not for anybody that's wanting to watch a superhero show.
I mean, come on, you
yeah.
know. I mean, shit. Yeah,
That and the Captain America suit they gave him at the end of that series was not good looking. I didn't like it.
yeah.
but it
Well,
was comic accurate.
it was comic accurate. I was going to
Yeah, but
say it is comic accurate though, and that's what Falcon Captain
Yeah.
America looks like. So you know, but yeah, the phase coming up of DC. Check it out, guys. This is what's coming up on DC. You've got Creature Commandos, which I believe is going to be an animated series. You got Waller, which I think is going to be a series.
Yeah, it's the sequel.
It's a live action series, though, isn't it? Yeah,
it's the same. It's the same as Peacemaker. It's the same people doing it.
Right, same people behind Peace. That's the thing. That's the thing. Gunn's going to keep his universe intact. The Suicide Squad's not going anywhere, guys.
Got to keep his wife working.
Good.
You know.
Good. It's the best thing that DC has right now.
I know it is really. But then he's actually writing Superman Legacy. He's writing that. Okay. He's heavily involved in the Superman movie. It's going to be a movie. And then you've got the Green Lantern series. I believe it's called Lantern Corps or Lanterns, one of the two.
Yeah.
And it's going to actually have Hal Jordan and John Stewart in it.
Yeah, along with others, but
yeah, he said when we first, and you guys can go back and watch. We covered this already. I'm just doing a rehashing of it since Matt brought it up. He said that Lantern Corps movie, and it sounds intriguing to me. I say movie; it's going to be a TV show. They're comparing it to True Detective on HBO Max.
Yeah, it's going to be a procedural. It's going to be a
so that should be cool because that's basically what they are. They're space cops, right? That they take care of the sectors they're in. So that sounds cool to me, you know. Let's see, what else do we have out of that phase? We've got the Authority, which I don't know. I think you had to explain it to me last time, John. What is the Authority? What is that?
It was a wild card or wild.
Lost your sound.
Yep.
Can't hear you.
Mm-hmm. While he's doing that, Joe, I saw her. Was it Supergirl on there?
Yes, she's in there, baby. I just don't like the fucking source material they're going to use. They're going to use the latest story in the books. It's called, I think it's called Woman of Tomorrow, I think is the name of it. Still can't hear you, buddy. Supergirl, Woman of Tomorrow. Yeah, they're using that storyline. And me personally, I'd like to see the new 52 Supergirl. That would be badass. That would be awesome.
Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but the Chiefs are just going to have a terrible season next year.
That's it.
Right? It's
Tell him all about the Chiefs
awful.
when he can't talk to people.
It's all going to be downfall from here. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys. Speak up if you disagree.
Oh my God, John, I hate it.
No naysay. Okay, I'll just be the only naysay. All right.
Now I got to tell you, this is knock. This is what he does, man. This is what he does.
I can't kick a man when he's down. I can't.
You're in there. I hear you. What's up? Go ahead. Let's hear you.
You're
good.
The Authority is from Wildstorm Comics.
Okay.
Which DC bought, created by Jim Lee. They're basically almost like the spirits of cities.
Okay.
But they're extremely powerful beings.
Okay.
And it's just another fairly, it's not really generic, but I mean, it's not, it's got a lot of, you can definitely.
Is it something that could you see some better DC properties brought forward ahead of this?
Yes.
Okay.
But
yeah, that's what I thought when I saw it.
James Gunn said that this is his passion project.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So that's why it's on the slate, because it's something that he wants to see.
I cannot cross the guy. Everything he's made for Marvel, I've enjoyed. Now I can't say that for Waititi. No. Everything he's made for Marvel, I could wipe my butt with. But friggin' stuff that
No, I like Ragnarok.
Ragnarok was awesome.
I mean,
I don't like Ragnarok. I did not like Ragnarok, but that's
Thor:
just me.
Love and Thunder was
My
hot
my
garbage.
daughter loves Ragnarok. I talked to a friend of mine, the guy I buy my comic books from, and he's a big Thor fan. And this is a perspective, and this is why I never poo-poo people for what they like and what they don't like. Okay. I told him I couldn't stand Love and Thunder. I liked the storyline with Gore. I liked the storyline with Jane Foster even. It's just all the freaking idiot jokes and stuff I couldn't stand. And he watched it for the first time just recently because he had checked out of these things for a while and he was trying to catch up, and he decided just to follow Thor, follow his storyline and watch the Avengers movie and his movies alone.
Yeah.
And he like you loved Ragnarok. He thought it was great. And he loved Love and Thunder. And I was like, dude, you really like that? He said, yeah. He said, when I realized the whole story is being told by Cord, it made sense.
It makes more sense.
And I said, you know what? I hadn't thought of that. He is sitting there making stupid jokes at the beginning of it, and Korg's an idiot. So, yeah, I mean, the story being told by him, I guess you could see it that way, But I personally didn't like it. I just thought it was great source material that they just executed super shitty. I really did,
Yeah.
And I'm not a guy that doesn't like Taika Waititi. I love some of the comedy shit he's done. I haven't watched the one that was up for a bunch of Academy Awards with ScarJo in it. The one with Hitler and the kid and all that.
Jojo Rabbit.
Jojo Rabbit. I haven't seen that yet. I heard it's great. But What We Do in the Shadows is one of the funniest fucking movies I've ever seen in my life. I love that flick,
Yeah. Now,
So
I do think that the second Thor movie lost a little bit of steam from the first one, Dark World.
Right.
It was just a little bit stale. The pacing was just maybe a little bit slow.
Right.
But so
it wasn't a bad movie. It wasn't bad. It was just
it did
slow.
need a little bit of a shot in the arm, but yeah, Ragnarok was more than just a little shot in the arm. It was like,
they blew it up. It was over the top, man.
I like some of the aspects of it. I like the fact that you had the Planet Hulk aspect. But
yes, that was cool. But
it was
it's
not
like
done
they're
maybe
trying
the
to
way I would
appease
have
a
done
certain part of the crowd,
Yeah.
with that one scene. And okay, we're going to move on from that. Come on,
But
man.
even
That's
with
an
the Planet
entire
Hulk
storyline
stuff,
people love.
it was kind of a bastardization of that at the same time.
Exactly.
Yeah, how many
Look,
different
in that
Hulks were you-
movie, you cannot deny the fact that the Hulk was turned into a joke in that movie. He was the comic relief in that
You
flick.
like Banner better.
Yeah,
Okay,
come on,
all right,
man.
cool.
What
All
in
right.
the fuck? Get out of here.
Well, and now the Hulk has totally been,
blended.
just
Right. Yeah. You
Just
had
do whatever with Hulk.
compromised.
look in Infinity War. You want to be mad about something. How about the guys that are big? My brother hates Infinity War and he can't stand Endgame. He doesn't like either one of those because he's a Hulk guy. And he saw the Hulk charging forward with that entire army in that trailer the first time. And then, you know what we got? He was pissed from the opening scene of that movie. He checked out.
How cool would it have been if, like, sometime during that battle,
right,
Hulk would have busted out of the freaking
I
armor.
think somebody told me that there's a deleted scene that's like that was supposed to happen in the movie.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
They
They even made a Funko Pop of it.
did they? Wow.
Well, they had said they were making a Funko Pop of it. They made the prototypes.
Mhm.
Oh,
But it never released.
the one Funko Pop they did not make. Okay, perfect. Yeah, great.
The only
Just
thing
like
just like
every
they
other
had-
design known to man, but that one
Just
they
like
I mean,
they had a Mephisto for the Mephisto Pop for the
now you can find them all on
for
clearance.
WandaVision, yeah. For the WandaVision
A
Pops, they
Mephisto
had a
one?
Mephisto. Yeah.
Wow.
One
Was
thing I can
Mephisto
think of-
supposed to be in that show?
And they
Yeah.
changed it.
He was.
Wow.
Apparently, our neighbors in the Far East don't like
Yeah.
anything devil related.
Imagine that.
It's a big country, that-
Yeah, I seem to remember back in the day. Now, you guys, well, Knock wouldn't know anything about this, but if you remember many, many yarn ago, there was a guy who wrote a book called Satanic Verses, and there was a certain part of the world didn't like that book very much, and
Yeah.
They actually put a hit out on him, didn't they? They weren't they trying
Salman Rushdie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm pretty sure they were looking to whack that dude.
Well,
yeah.
I'm referring more,
actually
I guess,
almost
more
did.
towards,
I think he's
towards
still
China.
alive. I think he survived it, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. What'd you say, man? I'm sorry.
Yeah. China it apparently put the kibosh on Mephisto.
That's
the rumor.
Oh.
Now Salman Rushdie.
Well, I mean, yeah.
The guy was Salman Rushdie for 30 years. They had a
jihad is what they call it, and it was a personal one against him.
Then,
yes.
What was it?
What'd they do for the latest Black Panther? Just have Shuri with a mask on the entire movie?
You haven't seen
China?
it?
No, in China.
Oh,
I haven't seen the Chinese.
I don't even think they released it there.
Oh, did they?
No, I don't think so. I mean, well, you know that they changed the Star Wars poster for there.
Oh, yeah, took Finn off of it. Yeah.
Yeah, they made him a lot smaller. They moved him on the poster and made him a lot smaller. He wasn't one of the big three, right?
Well, they pretty much did that anyway. So.
They're starting to Disney's starting to repair their relationship with China now, though. Yeah. By changing some of this stuff. But anyway, to finish out this DC roster, we've got Swamp Thing. Now, how many times have they tried to make Swamp Thing? I mean, and from what I understand, the last one they did, I don't think it was a CW show. I think it was one on a streaming service, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was on...
Was it an HBO show?
No, it was on the DC streaming service before
That's
it merged
right.
Before it became HBO Max.
It was called DC Universe, right?
Yeah.
And you could read the comics on this, and they had TV shows, right? Yeah. And
I guess I missed you talking about Booster Gold.
No, I haven't talked about Booster Gold yet. I'm not
okay.
going. I'm just bringing up what I see on the graphic. I haven't even brought up Booster Gold yet. But Swamp Thing's been made several times. There was a movie back in the 80s.
Two movies.
Yeah, 2 movies. And the series, from what I understand, that series was good, but it cost so much production-wise, they decided to cancel it.
Well, no, there's been 2 series. There's the one from
I'm talking about the 90s, the latest one. Yeah.
But the latest one, it was very good.
That's what I understand. I didn't get to see it. Is it on HBO Max's DC lineup?
I don't know.
Yeah. Check it out for me.
Sorry, I had to step out for a minute. One of the drawbacks of an all liquid diet.
Yeah, I understand. He's getting ready for you guys. Say a prayer for John. Send him some good vibes, man. He's getting his gastric thing done pretty soon. What's it called? Gastric
gastric sleeve.
Yeah, he's getting that
done. Basically ripping
soon,
out 80% of my stomach.
He is on a liquid diet. So yeah.
What's the show actually called? Do you know?
Swamp Thing.
Swamp Thing. Yeah. Absolutely. Swamp Thing. They never deviate from that name
of it. I think it's been
is Swamp Thing. Yeah. My favorite, of course, this is being a teenager seeing it, when Adrienne Barbeau was at the height of her powers, if you know what I'm talking about, is that one with her in it. So, but yeah, Swamp Thing can be a good show. I want to see.
I don't see it.
I want to see properties like Swamp Thing do well. But yeah, I'm sure there's a place to find it. But
they have said that this Swamp Thing's going to be done horror.
That's cool. That's cool. Oh, you know why I want to see Swamp Thing do well? I eventually want to see Satana on the screen, bro.
Yeah.
Come on. I want to see Justice League Dark. I want to see Constantine. Now, from what I understand, Keanu Reeves is in the middle of trying to get Constantine 2 made.
Yep.
And that, I guess, will fall under the Elseworlds label, right? The things we're showing you here on this graphic, guys, that's not the only thing that DC's doing. They're also doing Elseworlds, but we'll talk about that in just a second. Let's get to Booster Gold. Booster Gold, the guy that wants to be a superhero and ends up going to the future and becoming one, right, John? And then
he comes from the future.
He comes from the future. Okay, yeah. And he wants to be a superhero, and he doesn't have superpowers.
Steals a bunch of 24th century tech, jumps in Rip Hunter's time machine, and comes back to the 20th century.
Yeah, Booster Gold. Knock and I know him as the guy that that makes a bunch of jokes and he
Has
tells
a
us
dumb
what's going on.
capsule and stuff like that.
Yeah. That's what he is in the DC Universe game. They haven't really done a DLC with him yet or anything. It's just, they use him as a support character kind of thing.
He's one of my favorite characters.
Yeah.
I would think James Gunn could.
That's the thing. I think
right
that's going to be a great property for James Gunn to get his hands on and have a ball with, because he likes the oddball stuff, and it sounds totally right up his alley.
Well, he's doing Creature Commandos. He's wrote all that, and
yeah, Creature Commandos. Paradise Lost looks good too.
Yeah,
that's going to be a series. I don't think that's animated though. I think that's live action.
It's live action. Yep.
And it's going to be a series about Themyscira before Wonder Woman. And if she does show up in it, she's going to be a kid.
They compared it to Game of Thrones.
Yeah, and I could totally see that. I would love to see it. I've heard they're going to have characters like Nubia in there. That sounds pretty cool to me. But that's the Wonder Woman take they're going to take, and then we get to Batman. Batman, Brave and the Bold.
I'm not looking forward to this.
I'm not looking forward to this either because it's got... Knock can tell you from playing the video game, I can't stand Robin. I hate the guy. I hate every iteration of him. About the only version of Robin that I like is the Red Hood. And they had to kill him and throw him in the Lazarus pit to
You're
get
welcome.
him,
I said you're welcome. I spent money to kill Robin back when they had the 900 number.
Okay.
I called the 900 number just to kill him.
Yeah, he needed to be killed. But that's about the coolest version of him I've seen is Red Hood. And the only reason why I know about him is because he was in a DLC for Injustice 2. That's the only reason why I know about him. And I did some research on him. I'm like, okay, this guy looks pretty cool, But every other one, Nightwing, Tim Drake, all these other whatever. But apparently they're going to do the Damon Wayne Robin. So they're going to have the thing I do like about that is they're going to have the League of Assassins involved in it.
Oh,
which
I loved him in Living Color. Damon Wayne. Sorry, bad joke.
Yeah.
Did I say Damon Wayne? I meant
womp.
Damian Wayne.
Yeah, it's Damian Wayne.
Yeah, I need to get one of those rib shots, don't I? But yeah, it's Damian Wayne. And this is the guy. There you go, brother. There you go. A little late on the uptake, but that's okay.
Well, I had to turn it on.
I understand. It's not your show. I understand. And I don't ask you to produce. I get it, but I appreciate it. But this is the guy that I really can't stand is Damian Wayne. He thinks he's hot shit. I mean, his character in every iteration I've ever seen is a total jackass. I can't stand this dude. And on DCEU, there's a Teen Titans DLC, and the duo, you get to kick his ass with a partner, and I love doing it. I can't stand that little punk. But this is the story they're going to go with. They're going to make Batman a dad and have him dealing with this little pipsqueak that wants to fucking throw swords at people and shit. So
now Keith from Pop Culture Minefield is really all in on this. He's talking like, they're going to do it like My Three Sons. I'm like, they're not going to do it like that. They're going to
please.
Don't expect them to.
Well, this is the deal. This is why I always say I don't poo-poo people for what they want. They like. I mean, if that's what he's into, God love you. But I'm going to stick with I'm going to hope that the next Batman in the Elseworld series is a little better. We can cross our fingers and hope.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the slate for DC coming up. Now what this means, I think what I'm thinking is, all this being said, I think Marvel's backing properties up that they know. Look, we've been talking for a few years now about the pendulum swinging. Okay, they're starting to figure out, hey, COVID's over. People are going back to the movies, and they don't want to see the shit that we've been putting out. We need to, start putting out something that people want to see, because there are people going to the movies. There are. I went to the movies this weekend. or excuse me, I went Tuesday on the cheap day, and I got to tell you, there was nobody in that theater for Ant-Man. Nobody. I actually ran into a friend of mine that I haven't seen in a few weeks. Friend of mine named Matt that he watches our dogs when we're out of town, and he works for a place here locally, and we just haven't touched base since football season ended, basically since the regular season ended, because I've been doing the show, with Knock in the mornings during football days, and we haven't been having the get-togethers we have here at the house. But I ran into him at the movie, and there might have been my family, which is 4 people, him and 2 other buddies, and 2 other people in that theater, and that was it. But then again, it's on a Tuesday in the middle of the week. I don't know what it was like on the weekend.
It was only about, probably, I would say, about a 10th full when I went at Sunday at 4. Yeah.
Yeah. See, I think they know that they've got to start putting some stuff together that people actually want to see. And I wouldn't be surprised to see things get backed up, even slashed, and new projects get the green light, And if you look at DC, they're moving forward with what Gunn and Saffron want to do, you know. And I don't know about you guys, but the reactions I've seen from the Flash trailer that came out at the Super Bowl, it's been good. I mean, nobody's in a hurry to go see this idiot play Flash, but Michael Keaton is totally balancing that out.
Yeah,
all the Batman stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
People are hyped to see that shit. They've
been
really
waiting
are.
for like so like they had the Batwoman canceled, and that was going to be his appearance, and so we've been waiting for him to come back. It's just like they keep getting canceled.
Yeah, and this is the movie really that they can actually. John's been listening to me say this for a year now, I'm sure, over in Pop Culture Minefield. This is the movie where they can actually reset things and get it any way they want to.
Yeah, this is Days of Future Past.
Yeah, this is it. They can do whatever they want with this and reset the world if they want to.
By the way, Batwoman must be really bad for them to have.
It must be. It must be.
I couldn't watch
girl.
Season.
Yeah.
I gave up on that. Yeah, because I watched the first season because I was watching everything CW, and I still am. But now I'm just doing like Arrow, or not Arrow, but Arrow's done by now.
I watched the first. Okay, we're talking. I think you guys are talking about 2 different things. To Knox's point, I watched the entire first season of Batwoman. I watched when it was Ruby Rose. I watched that entire first season. I enjoyed it. I liked her sister, the villain in it. I thought that was a cool thing, but the second season, I checked out after the first episode. I was like, man, this is stupid.
Pretty much,
yeah. I meant Batgirl, the unreleased movie.
Right. You're talking about the unreleased Batgirl movie.
I thought it was Batwoman.
No,
it's Batgirl.
It was Batgirl. Batwoman was the TV series. Batgirl is the purple one with the yellow symbol and red hair. Yeah, that's her. Yeah, I think it was a Hispanic girl playing her, right? Or was it a African American
right
girl?
at all.
It was a black girl.
Lisa Bonet's
Hang on,
daughter.
I'll bring up a picture for you. Hang on. Let's see. You guys are all faster than me at this. I don't know why I'm
the
doing
Hispanic. The Hispanic girl's playing Supergirl in.
That's right. Yeah, and she's going to be in The Flash. Yes.
In Flash.
Yep.
Yeah, Zoe Kravitz was in the unreleased movie. Yep.
Okay, here is the.
No, Zoe Kravitz was Catwoman in.
The girl,
the Batman.
Okay, here is. Let me get the picture up. This is what she looks like. This was a poster that was put out for it. Right.
For some reason in my mind, I thought Batwoman was supposed to be the movie extension.
Yeah.
Batgirl was the movie extension.
Right.
Batwoman.
Now this is Batgirl right here, buddy.
Okay.
This is look how horrible that. I wish I could blow it up bigger for you.
Yeah, and I stand corrected again. I'm sorry. Yeah, that's not Zoe Kravitz. I was thinking that was her, but that's not.
Yeah, it's not. The girl's name is. Let me see.
I just looked it up. It's Leslie Grace.
Yeah. Leslie Grace is the girl's name, and she is. Where's she at? She's right here.
That was the other thing. Wanted to see more Brandon Fraser.
Right. That's her right there. She looks like she's Hispanic to me. I'm not sure. I can't tell for sure. But anyway, how bad must that movie have been? Because they put
90 million.
good bit of money into it and said, nope, we're not even going to put it out.
Sorry, it's a tax write-off, so
right. They can write that off.
Maybe it'll be like the Fantastic Four movie from the 90s that eventually gets leaked.
Right. Maybe we'll see it one day.
I have that.
Do you?
Cool.
The Roger Corman one? Oh my God, that's got to be horrible. Holy shit.
It's actually not bad.
Really?
It's better than Fan Four Stick.
Really? Yeah, well, I still haven't watched that. I told people not to watch that.
The 2015 movie with
yes.
B. Jordan. Yeah.
Yeah. Aggressively Relaxing says CW Universe is awesome. Release Batgirl. Well, you go, man. You like what you like, man. I'm going to watch the next CW offering. I'm going to watch Gotham Knights, but it's because my daughter worked on it. So, I got to.
No, I'm doing the Legends of Tomorrow. I'm even doing the Superman and Lois, which is kind of interesting.
Superman and Lois look good to me.
Good.
It's just.
I'm in the first season of that.
I'm just, I'm not as big a Superman fan as everybody else is. I enjoy the movies, but a weekly series.
I like that
really
it's about his kids.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna wait and watch because I only know it's only like 16 episodes for the final Flash season.
Yeah.
And I'm just gonna wait till it gets done to watch it.
I'm going in order of the actual show's release dates, so I'm literally I'm jumping between each show, episode by episode, because I have a whole list that I'm going by.
Right. We watched Legends of Tomorrow all the way to the end because my wife is a huge fan. She likes it.
I really like that show.
You got to check your brain at the door. Tell them the truth, Knock. You got to check your brain at the door. It gets silly.
And that's with all these CW.
Yeah.
I get into moods where I'm just like, I just want cheesy superhero movie or TV shows where now Superman and Lois is a little bit more serious. It's a little bit different.
Yeah.
But
Superman and Lois is great. Giving Superman a son with behavioral issues is his powers can't fix is really clever. And he also says, what's good small time? Yeah. But go ahead.
Right.
I'm sorry.
You're right. It's just like I get into moods because I watch them in spurts. I don't watch. I've been doing this for years. Where it's like for a couple weeks, I'll just
the binge model. You like to watch it from the beginning,
and I'll burn through a lot of, and then I'll get burnt out, and then I'll stop watching it, and then some seasons will come out of each one, and then I'll come back and I'll do it. I never ever catch up, but Arrow's finally done, so I don't have to worry about that and the dumb flashbacks anymore. But
leave my Arrow alone, son. That's the one I watched from beginning to end. I watched, and I was bummed.
I watched
when
the whole
it was
thing
over.
too. Yeah, because I made it past that part in the thing. But no, the main reason I watched them in chronological order because the what do you call them?
The crossover.
Crossovers, the crossover episodes.
Crisis.
I don't think there's any more major ones in here. So.
No, but Crisis on Infinite Earths was awesome.
Yeah,
I enjoyed the fuck out of that. That was great. Hang on one second. John, what do you got for us here, sir? John.
It's Fantastic Four.
Is it? Oh my God. Yeah. Now okay, I can't see this. Let me pull it up a little bit bigger for myself. Okay. Michael Bailey Smith as Ben Grimm. My gosh, who are these people?
I have no idea who any of these people
I'm
are.
telling you, I don't know who any of these guys are. This is the Corman movie from '94. Yep. Wow.
Yeah, now he's produced it. He didn't direct it. It's directed by Ole Sassoon.
Now, catch us up on the lore on this. Now, I'm pretty sure this is a movie they made to keep the license, right?
Yes, that's the only reason this movie was made was to keep the license, and it was never released.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I think the one from 2015 was made for the same fucking reason.
Yeah,
probably.
The two. There's at least two of them that were made just because of that. That's why they all sucked.
That's unbelievable to me.
One of the very few people that I recognize from that on the right there, Joseph Culp.
Mm-hmm.
That's Robert Culp's son. So Robert Culp was in some things. He was what was it the superhero show from the early '80s where the guy that had the curly blonde hair.
Yeah,
was like Last American
Hero.
The greatest American hero.
Believe it or not, I'm walking on it. That one. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But I mainly know that actor though. He played Don Draper's father in flashbacks in Mad Men.
Really?
So
See, that's a series I've always wanted to see. That's one I'd have to pull the not
I
model
started
on.
like a month before they took it off Netflix, and I was so sad when it happened.
One of
I
my
was
favorite
like
shows.
trying to binge it, and I ran out of time.
Yep.
Damn, really? I heard it was great. I love the guy that's the lead in it. I think he's awesome, man.
It's hard to make a good period piece to where it feels accurate. For the time.
I don't even know where you can watch it now, but but when I was watching it was on Netflix, and then they're like, it's leaving soon.
Well, I'm sure it's on the AMC channel. They've got a streaming channel called AMC Plus. I'm sure it's on there.
Yeah, I just don't want to,
because they produced it. So
now I want to do Peacock because I want to watch Parks and Recs.
Yeah.
The one thing I do like
I've never seen Parks and Rec
about Mad Men is that sometimes you just don't get the result. Like, it doesn't play out to where like, oh, in the end everything's fine. It's like, no, that's not how it always goes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you get kicked in the head. Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes you get kicked in the head. Well, AMC's good for doing shows like that. I mean, hell, that's the whole theme of friggin' what's the one about the guy cooking meth?
Breaking Bad.
Walter White.
Bad. Yeah, Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, yeah.
He's okay. He's making chips for the Super Bowl, so he's
right.
good.
But it's a steady decline in that show, right? To basically to his death eventually, right? It's something like that. But I've never watched that one. That one and Mad Men, I've always wanted to go ahead and
Better Call
watch.
Saul was a great spinoff too.
That's what I hear.
I actually have to binge that one.
Yeah,
because I'm only ever watched like a couple episodes.
Aggressively relaxing says the CW stuff can look like a high school play sometimes, but it's unapologetically comic book. Yes, it is. And he also says it's not bad, but it's cheap.
High school play. It does feature two, actors from Glee.
Right,
basically a high school play,
right,
and singing and all that good stuff. So, which is a guilty pleasure of mine. But what can I say?
What, Glee?
Oh yeah,
Glee's a great show. I don't give a shit what anybody says. My wife turned me on to it. It's great.
My favorite part of that show was the mashups.
Yeah, the mashups are awesome.
Some of those mashups.
They do great.
Awesome.
I like the theme shows where they do all one artist, and I like the mashups. I think they're cool as shit. But the CW,
you guys both like Glee? Is that what you said?
I love Glee. My daughter, my wife turned me on to it. And
has Tiger Woods handed either one of you a tampon yet?
No, no. And I'd knock his ass out if he tried to. Silly ass. I heard that shit.
I can see where you get but I don't know. I just liked the singing. That was it. The drama, whatever. It was cringy, but
the chicks ain't bad on the eyes either. But boy, you want to talk about a cursed. You want to talk about a cursed television show. How many people are dead from that show? It's ridiculous, man.
3 of them.
Oh, one's an overdose. One's a suicide. I can't remember what the other guy was. Oh my god!
I can't rip on you guys too much. I like Moulin Rouge, the movie. So,
hey man, there's nothing wrong with musicals as long as they're good. I have never met anybody my age that didn't like Grease. I mean, it's a musical. You
can't hate on John Travolta.
No, you can't. And it's a very guy-centric show. It really is.
Great casting.
It's not my favorite thing in the world, but I don't absolutely hate it like I do Sound of Music.
Well, John, I'm with you with that one. My earliest memory in a movie theater was my mother taking us to see Sound of Music, and all I remember about that movie, watching it in the theater, was there was a small blue clock, over to the left of the friggin' screen, and I kept looking at it, wondering when that fucking 4-hour movie was going to end. It was ridiculous.
I think one of the things on my bucket list is to go to one of those shows where they do like the John Williams orchestra playing with.
You want to go see an orchestra playing?
With the movie playing behind him as it was going in the movie. Like I want to see one of those.
That would be great. Hey, Lunatic, it's good to see you, man. But
you guys getting back to the Yahtzees to find them in Sound of Music.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong; it's a true story, but God, that movie's too long. It is way too damn long. But I mean, talented people all over the place in that flick. But get back to the CW. I watched Arrow from beginning to end. That was my show. I thought it was the best show on TV. I liked it better than The Walking Dead. I thought it was that was my show. And I never was as big on the Flash. A lot of people dig Flash, and
I like Flash.
and they've watched it from the beginning. I haven't watched the last maybe 3 seasons of it.
Mm.
Ever since Arrow went off, I haven't watched the CW. Really haven't. The only one we watched after that went off was Legends of Tomorrow. We finished that one out.
Doing that, I'm doing Supergirl. And
I finished Supergirl. I did that myself. I didn't watch it with my wife.
I'm on the
She
final
was
season.
done with it. Yeah, it's good. But
I haven't watched this season of The Flash, and I haven't watched the final season of Batwoman.
Okay.
I don't plan on going back to Batwoman.
Yeah,
I tried
Batwoman
to
just
too, and
there's no reason to. But
I couldn't do that. I couldn't do Black Lightning. I watched
this
all of
chick
Black
I
Lightning.
dug as Supergirl. Okay, I dug her. I thought she was awesome. But that show got more and more woke every freaking year, and it turned into a mess by the end of it. It was just, oh god, that whole season with Sam Witwer, who is a great talent, playing a Trump type person in it as a
that was
bad
great.
guy.
I enjoyed it.
Oh god,
You guys should watch Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, like I've been watching recently.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
I don't know what is possessing me to do this, and the fact that it's something new. But in one of the more recent episodes, I think it's 6 episodes in, but I believe it was episode 4 maybe that I just watched, where the main character Moon Girl plays a basically like a Watson computer type object in chess, and they make sure to exchange their pronouns before playing chess. So there's that. Yep.
This is a show. What is it? Animated?
It's an animated show on Disney Plus. It's Marvel, but it's not MCU.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. This is crazy. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. All I'm getting is comic book covers.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Now I believe originally from the comics, I think it was maybe Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur, and they did a gender swap, maybe even a race swap.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Is this it right here?
Yep. So now it's a
comic,
show on Disney Plus that started this month. Yep.
Huh. That's crazy. Cool. And it's on Disney Plus.
I still need to catch up with the last couple episodes of Velma.
Oh my God, Velma. Oh my God.
I was actually watching that. I haven't watched the
Really?
last 3 episodes, but
Lunatic says, "What?"
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah, CW. I can't deny the fact that I watched it and I enjoyed it, but some of it I enjoyed more than others.
I gotta do it in spurts. It's in spurts. Yeah. I can't. I get burnt out really, really fast. Maybe like a half a season. Because of how many episodes I watch, because I'm not watching through the season. I'm watching every single episode from every show through their seasons. So I'm really, I'm like making it half the season.
I've got so many shows I'm behind on that I haven't jumped back into that I'm like, it's in my, I had to set my, on Plex, I had to set my on deck setting to like 5 years.
What? Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy, man. That is nuts.
My movie app right now is Udemy, so that's kind of what I've been watching the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Well, I think I've already. I think you guys already know we're wrapping up The West Wing for the second time. This is basically. Now we're talking about a married couple that wants to relax at the end of the day. If we just want to check out and not think about what we're watching, we throw on The West Wing because that's the show we're watching right now. When we're done with that, we'll go back to Law and Order until we pick another one we want to watch, from beginning to end. We've seen every episode of Law and Order several times. I mean, we used to watch that religiously all the time.
All right, so I like this discussion. I have 2 main that were my go-tos.
Okay.
Stargate is one of my go-tos when I don't feel like watching anything else, and I just put it in there. I've seen every episode a gazillion times. Burn Notice was another one that I did.
Burn Notice. That's one I've always wanted to check out, man.
I love that.
I love the guy that's the main character in friggin'. I don't know the actor's name, but I love that guy.
I can't think of it off my head, but awesome.
Yes.
So those 2 ones I put when I don't feel like watching anything, and I just want to rewatch something.
And Bruce Campbell is a regular. How can you go wrong, bro?
And then Justified is another one.
Justified.
So what about you guys? That's the question I have for
Deep Space Nine, Farscape.
Farscape's good. I finally did get around to watching that.
Okay. And
because
Babylon 5.
Babylon
Stargate.
5, very science fiction oriented.
I watched Farscape because of Stargate. Because
what about you, Matt? What's your I want to not have to think about anything, just throwing something on the TV to kick back and relax to.
Besides Moon Girl and the Devil.
No, he has to think about that. That's new.
Yeah,
he has
probably
to think about
some
that.
of the older Marvel cartoons, X-Men, that kind of thing. Yep.
Really? That's cool, man. That's cool. Shit, my kids used to look
Talking
forward
comic,
to that.
it's or cartoons. It's going to be the D&D animated or Batman the animated series.
I kind of want to go back. I'm going to have to go back and watch the X-Men 97 again. But then I also kind of want to go back and watch the Jackie Chan Adventures.
Jackie Chan Adventures?
In terms of live action, though, the Office reruns, but I prefer the Michael Scott era.
Office, yeah, I watch that every now.
Yeah. Well, when it comes to cartoons, while you guys are watching X-Men, I'm watching Amazing Spider-Man. That's what I'm watching. I dug that run. The only problem I have with that is he's so muscular looking when he's not in the suit. You know what I mean? He looks like he's got broad shoulders and all this shit. And I'm like, that's not Peter Parker, man. What the hell? But other than that, the show is fantastic. I love it, man. I can watch The West Wing all day long. It's just smart television. I love it. I just think it's one of the best written dramas ever. MASH is another one I can check out too. That show, it's half an hour episodes. And you want to talk about some of the most gut-wrenching drama on a comedy series. I mean, anybody that when you first saw the one where their first commander was going home and his helicopter gets shot down. Yeah. Oh my God. That was
I'll always remember the bus.
Yeah.
Bus and the chicken.
Right. The bus and the final episode. It was 2 hours long. It was 2 hours long, and BJ just couldn't say bye to him, and he spelled it out in rocks on the helipad. Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That was at the time, it was the most watched single episode of episodic television in history when that show went off the air. Everybody was tuned into that show when it went off the air. It's crazy. But yeah, I could watch MASH all day long. Law and Order and West Wing. Those right there.
There was a time where Law and Order was I watched like every episode, but then it just kept going.
Yeah, it just keeps, and dude, I tried to watch it last season when it rebooted, and oh my God,
I started because Special Victims Unit was new when I was watching Law and Order, so Law and Order was out
never
for a
have
while.
liked special victims.
That's what I enjoyed. For Criminal Intent was the other one.
Criminal Intent himself. I dig because
Kingpin. Yeah, he's awesome.
What's my man's name that plays Kingpin?
Vincent D'Onofrio.
Yeah, Vincent D'Onofrio.
He's awesome.
Me and my wife call him Crane Technique because whenever that guy looks at you like this, that's your ass. That's him going.
Yeah,
really?
He just figured you out.
That's your ass. He's about to fuck you up. Yeah, it's funny as shit. But yeah, those are shows I could watch all day. But I never got into the sexual stuff that went on in SVU. I did not like that, and it's just a personal preference. I got no problem with people who want to watch it, but I just didn't get into it. It's stuff I didn't want to watch. I know that side of life exists. It's kind of like the movie 8mm. I know that side of life exists, but I don't need to watch it. You know what I mean? That's there's certain movies I never want to see again, and 8mm is at the top of that list. I don't ever want to see.
That's
it's a great movie.
Snuff film, right?
Yeah, it's the one where the woman hires him. Nicolas Cage is a private detective that gets hired to investigate whether or not a snuff film that her late husband had in a safe was real or not. And he has to go into that world and find out where this film came from and whether it was actually happened or if it was faked. She wanted to know. And oh my God, that movie will make you sick. It really will, because it's there. These are really things that really exist. And there's people that sick in the world. It's just, ugh. But yeah. I love it, man. Well, listen, we're at the 2-hour mark, guys. I think we've covered just about everything when it comes to the upcoming products. I do want to say this about Marvel backing up those properties, DC announcing all the new stuff. I'm getting a feeling kind of like, when WWE was getting stale, AEW came in and there was competition, and all of a sudden WWE's worth watching now. They've got a great story going on with Roman Reigns, and it's must-see TV now every Monday night and every Friday night. And they just had Elimination Chamber was one of the best pay-per-views they've had in a long time. I mean, they've upped their game because they have competition. And I think that's what we're going to see. I think that's why Marvel's moving some of this stuff back. I think they've seen that this stuff we were planning, it's not going to work with Gunn bringing this other stuff in. They're going to tend to want to go see that instead. I think we're going to see a lot of that going on.
I did want to mention one other thing. You talk about wrestling. You're talking about things that you like to watch just to kind of zone out, at the end of the day. Watching shoot interviews with older wrestlers.
Yes,
that's something I enjoy doing.
You can put, if you can get the right loop going on YouTube, you can watch some really cool stuff, man. Yeah, you can. Yeah, especially if you get into the territory days and some of the shit they did on TV back then. No doubt, you definitely can. All right, boys and girls. Well, listen, let's let you know what's going on with our panel, and then I'll let you know what's going on with the channel. We'll start with my man John from Pop Culture Minefield. Tell him what's going on with you, sir.
Well, I'm on YouTube all the time. Mondays at 4, you can find me on that 70s Rock Fans channel for Only Talk and Roll. You can find me rest of the time, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central. On Pop Culture Minefield, the Morning Coffee series. You can find me on there on 1 to 3 on Fridays and Saturdays for TGIF and Saturday Morning Fun Time. And I produce the wrestling show that's on there called Dark Side of the Ring. That's at 1 p.m. Central with Joe's Atmosfere here. He's co-host. And I sporadically do my own channel, usually Tuesdays at 4. And that's it at Real Das Wolfen.
All right. Thanks, brother. How about you, Knock? What's going on with you now that football season is out of the way?
Not too much right now. I'm just back into the study mode, so I'm not really on any shows. Although I have to admit, I was considering maybe starting an XFL show, but I don't know about that yet. But right now I'm just in study mode. So I might
hear you, brother.
Here on Wednesday nights, but other than that, I'm not doing too
So
much.
the next time we're going to see you is what we talked about before, other than being here with me, which I appreciate greatly. Thanks for coming by, man. I appreciate it a lot. But the next time we talk football for sure. Now you might get an XFL show going, and I'll be glad to help you with that. But the next time for sure, I think it's going to be me, you, and Matt on the draft, right? Draft reaction show. Yeah.
Yep.
So
whatever that Thursday night is.
Yeah, the Thursday night for the first round. Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna try and get tickets to it.
Are you? For sure.
It's in Kansas City.
Yeah, is it this year?
Oh.
No kidding.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're gonna do a reaction show, man. And if you want to, go mobile there when you're there and talk to us about the room and what's going on, you can definitely do that. But yeah, that's what we're planning on doing next with pregame party, the NFL show that me, Matt, and Knock were doing. So
Chiefs have 2 first-round draft picks.
Do they? Wow.
We have none now.
Yeah, but hey,
We traded ours away.
you got
for
the
Russell
coach,
Wilson
bro.
and
Don't you
Devontae.
worry about that, none. You
That's where
got
our
the
first
coach.
round went.
Trust me, Matt would like to have that guy back right
Yep.
now. Believe that. Speaking of Matt, tell him where they can find you, Matt.
Just here most every Wednesday night at 5:30 Central, and just
The
some
couch looks comfy.
yeah. Well, thank you. But just some parting words as far as Ant-Man. Now I haven't seen it yet, the Ant-Man, the third movie. But from what I've been, from what the internet told me, they said it's terrible. Don't watch it. Don't let anybody tell you what you should and should not watch. Watch what you want, enjoy what you want. So that's what I got.
Like
right.
Moon Girl.
That's right.
Yeah.
And I feel the same way, Matt. I mean, I was actually looking forward to seeing this because I'm a big Paul Rudd fan. I think the guy can do no wrong, and I'm glad I went. There was some cringe stuff in it, but you know what? The good outweighed the bad for me in this movie. So, but yeah, definitely listen to Matt. Watch what you want to watch, man. It's up to you. Don't let other people tell you what you want to watch, what to watch and what not to watch. I don't subscribe to that for sure. You want to.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not all Pollyanna. I will rip on things.
So. Yeah, absolutely. Trust me. We didn't really lean into the MODOK conversation. It was horrible. The MODOK part of that movie is bad, and you are going to laugh your ass off at it half the time. It's just stupid, and it. Some of it's jokes that they meant to do, but you're not going to laugh at the joke. You're going to laugh at how bad the joke is because it's just fucking horrible.
How long is this movie?
It's only 2 hours long. It's not.
If it was 3 hours, it'd be like, is the MODOK part where you go to the bathroom?
No, not at all. He's in there very sparingly. But anyway, let's let you know what's going on with the channel, guys. Of course, you're watching State of the Atmosphere with me and my buds. We just get together and talk about stuff of the day. And don't forget, we're going to do Last of Us reviews every week until that show ends. It's only got 3 episodes left, guys. They're screaming through the first season of it. So, and that we do this every Wednesday night, 5:30 Central, 6:30 Eastern. And then, of course, you've got the Brothers Hack the Matrix tomorrow night. The Matrix being the headlines of today. We hack through that Matrix and let you know what's going on. We have a couple cocktails and a few laughs and tell you what's going on behind the scenes in today's headlines. And that's every Thursday night at 6:30 Central, 7:30 Eastern. And then, of course, you can see me on Saturdays developing my comic book. We plot the pages. My friend Justifier Jim shows up, and we do that every Saturday, 1:30 p.m. Central, 2:30 Eastern. And the next time after that you'll see me is on Dork Side of the Ring. John produces it for us on Pop Culture Minefield, and it's everything WWE, AEW, and I also do a section called State of the Apron, where I tell you what's going on with the smaller promotions in wrestling, the guys that are trying to get to the big dance. And that's brought to you by Pop Culture Minefield and KGRA Digital Radio every Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. Central, 2 p.m. Eastern. And then, of course, I do my Twitch show where I have a few cocktails, video games, and fails. That's every Sunday starting around 9 p.m. Central. I do it for 3 hours and Twitch games about every hour. And we the next time after that will be on Monday on It's Only Talk and Roll. And this Monday, it's a special show. Me and Das Wolfen will be there for That 70 Rock fans' 60th birthday, boys and girls. He is going to be 60, and you see all the logos he's got there. He's going to be talking about everything he loves because it's his birthday and he gets to talk about whatever he wants. So you guys should tune into that one. You'll see here it says 3 p.m. Mountain. I'm going to tell you what it is Central. It's 4 p.m. Central, 5 p.m. Eastern. Every Monday, It's Only Talk and Roll. If you didn't see our Flash show this week, you need to go back and watch that one. That was a lot of fun. Watch the replay on that one, but that'll be Monday at 4 p.m. That's right, baby. Nice. And then, of course, it's back around to this show on Wednesdays. So, for my panel, John Das Wolfen from Pop Culture Minefield, Matt, Small Time Republic, and Knock, I want to thank you all for being here. And until we see you again, I want you to keep on keeping on. God bless.